Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. Every day, we make quick and simple decisions to ensure our health and safety. When we got in the car to drive here today, we put on our seatbelts, a safety precaution so normalized that we don't even think twice about it. Similarly, if you were to ride a bike, you would put on a helmet to prevent head injury if you were to fall. So when it comes to something as important as heart health, wouldn't you want to take the same precautions? The leading cause of death in America is heart disease. And each year, over 365,000 people will experience sudden cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest is not a heart attack. It's a malfunction in the heart's electrical structure, often caused by a heart abnormality that someone is born with. So it can happen to anyone at any time, regardless of age, health, or physical fitness. The average physical doesn't screen for the kinds of heart abnormalities that put people at risk for sudden cardiac arrest. And a young person today may not even be aware that this is something that could happen to them, despite sudden cardiac arrest being a leading cause of death both on school campuses and among student athletes. But the Eric Paredes Foundation is working to change these statistics, one screening at a time. My name is Amy De Luna, and this semester I've had the honor of serving as team lead to the EP Save a Life capstone team as we work to research, plan, and implement a PR campaign that aligns with the foundation's mission to prevent sudden cardiac arrest in youth. The foundation was named after Eric Paredes, a high school sophomore who participated in sports and led an active lifestyle. But in 2009, the unimaginable happened, and Eric passed away due to sudden cardiac arrest. His story isn't rare, but one shared by hundreds of other people. In the United States alone, 1 in 300 young people live with an undetected heart abnormality that puts them at risk for sudden cardiac arrest. The foundation was started in his honor, and they work to provide the community with free heart screening events. And not only that, but because early intervention is key, they also work to provide CPR presentations, educational resources, and automated external defibrillator device demonstrations. All of this is done with one goal: to prevent sudden cardiac arrest in youth. And for the past 15 years, they've done exactly that, screening over 43,000 teens and detecting over 600 heart abnormalities that may have otherwise gone on to cause life-threatening issues. This semester, we worked to help them promote their mission and get even more people to attend their current and future heart screening events. But before we did that, we wanted to get a gauge of where exactly the foundation stood.
Hi, everyone. I'm Letitia Jordan, and before we launched our pre-campaign survey, we did an internal audit on EP Save a Life Foundation's recent efforts. We found that they were already implementing text messaging, text reminders, and conducting exit poll surveys with a 54% completion rate. They also already had 18 community supporters that support outreach efforts. We also wanted to note that San Diego is the home to 11 colleges, meaning that there is a high young adult outreach potential. However, the majority of screen participants are minors, highlighting the importance of engaging parents and youth organizations since the majority of our participants are youth. Then we wanted to get a better understanding of our target audience. So we surveyed parents of youth ages 12 to 17 and young adults 18 to 25. Our survey received 126 responses from those within the San Diego community. We first wanted to know what sports they or their children play. We found that soccer was the most played sport and gymnastics and tennis were the least played. This helped us better figure out where to be for planning events and doing outreach. Then we wanted to get a better understanding of our target audience, knowledge and attitude levels. We found that knowledge of sudden cardiac arrest was low at a 2.5 out of 5. Knowledge of EP Save a Life Foundation even lower at a 1.6 out of 5. However, attitude towards heart screenings were extremely positive at a 4.2 out of 5. This tells us that people are open to heart screenings. There's not enough about it or us, and that's where we come in.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marina Alexander, and these are our qualitative interview results. As a team, we collected 20 interviews from parents with kids 12 to 17 and young adults 18 to 25 in the San Diego area. We chose these two age groups as parents of the legal guardians of the EP Save a Life's 12 to 17 age range, and 18 to 25 are independent. The statements highlighted behind me are sentiments shared the most among our interviewees. Our interviewees highlighted the most that would get them to come to a preventative healthcare event is word of mouth, engaging in authentic social media and promotion, and various free incentives. Our young adults highlighted the most that free incentives would get them to come out, whether they be food or school related. One interviewee specifically said that would get them to come out to an event is free Chick-fil-A.
Hello, everyone. My name is Abby Ahern. Our team evaluated 3 main competing organizations. All of these competitors have shared goals of preventing sudden cardiac arrest, as well as to advocate for automated external defibrillator and CPR training. EP Save a Life itself stands out as a specialized organization dedicated to preventing sudden cardiac arrest in youth, while its competitors either have broader cardiovascular missions or are smaller regional players.
Our team compiled a SWOT analysis, a tool used to evaluate a company or foundation's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats to help make more informed and strategic decisions throughout the campaign. Strengths and weaknesses are internal factors, where opportunities and threats are external factors. Hi, everyone. My name is Carson Geit, and a strength that we pinpointed was that the EP Save a Life Foundation chose to work solely within San Diego County and already had established internal and community support. A weakness that we found was that the foundation lacked cohesive branding or a strong social media presence. Throughout this campaign, we had the opportunity to build on pre-existing relationships and also build new ones, such as partnering with SDSU professors to reach an age demographic that the foundation had struggled to reach prior. There were some threats that we noticed as well. There are other heart health organizations out there that don't necessarily have the same age or geographic restrictions that the EP Save a Life Foundation has, such as the American Heart Association. Before our campaign, there was a 36% no-show rate at screenings. This told us that there was room for improvement in tactics that could lead to more follow-through. Our team then put together a problem statement, a concise description of the problem the foundation faces moving forward with their campaign. Because the foundation struggled with no-show rates and also limited public awareness, this then hindered their ability to effectively promote heart health to the San Diego public.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maya Dabbage, and as a crucial step to our planning, we had to identify our target audiences and their levels of influence and interest on the foundation. With that, we understood that the foundation screens youth from the ages 12 to 25. This made youth within that age range our primary publics. But because of their low levels of influence and interest on the foundation, this made them a latent public. On the other hand, parents with children from the ages 12 to 17 were identified as our secondary publics. And because of their high levels of influence and interest on the foundation when educated, this made them an aware public. So by the end of this campaign, we aim to shift youth from latent to aware and parents from aware to active.
Based on the criteria of Grunig's situational theory of publics, we've classified youth as an apathetic public due to their inattentiveness to engage with the foundation and sudden cardiac arrest prevention itself. Parents were classified as a single-issue public, as they're more likely to engage with the foundation when further educated. Throughout our campaign, we analyzed both target audiences, aiming to further educate them on the benefits of heart screens.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ella Desitrell, and let's talk about the bigger picture. After finally understanding all this research that we just threw at you, we knew what the goal of our campaign should be, and that is to decrease sudden cardiac arrest through early detection and education. In order to complete this goal, we devised 4 different objectives. The first of which is that we plan to increase the exit pool completion rate by 5%. We wanted to know our participants better and better understand their awareness of our organization. We wanted to complete this goal by March 30th of 2025, the day of our event. Our second objective that we focused on was that we wanted to focus on the no-show rates, or in essence, decrease no-show rates and boost the attendance rates at the event. We decided we wanted to increase this by 10%, also by the day of the event. The next, we wanted to increase the screening rate of 18 through 25-year-old demographic. We found this was harder to reach this group because unlike the minors, ages 12 through 17, they didn't have a parent to force them to come to the event. We decided that we also wanted to increase this rate by 10% by the day of the event. And finally, our fourth and final objective is that we decided on increasing by 50% the amount of community relationships that we had to get a better grasp on the community and to get a better outreach and more resources, though we decided on increasing that by May of 2025.
Hello, everyone. My name is Marissa Lee, and in order to keep our campaign strategic, we highlighted some key messaging. Our tactics that we will discuss later align with all of our messaging we pre-aligned. Messaging ranges from the impact of sudden cardiac arrest to the various efforts led by the EP Save a Life Foundation.
We were so eager to get started on this life-saving work, and my team and I knew that with the right strategies, we could hit and even exceed all of our objectives. Hi, my name is Haley Lawson, and this is how we did that. First, media outreach. Connecting with top local press and specialized reporters builds credibility, drives awareness, and positions the EP Save a Life Foundation as a trusted health resource in the community. Second, social media and influencer engagement. Creating content that is shareable and trendy is a way for the foundation to speak directly to their target audience. Lastly, community supporters. Building relationships with local universities, after-school programs, libraries, fire stations, and healthcare centers is a way for us to speak directly to our target audience and to get the message out into the communities where it was needed most, especially in our 18 to 25-year-old age range.
Now, when it came to crafting our tactics, there was one we knew we had to do. Do we have any PR capstone alums here today? Yeah. So if you turn to them, they'll tell you that for us to pass this class, we had to get earned media coverage. Now, I didn't want Dr. Sweetser to second guess if we hit this requirement. So we have 4 earned media hits for our client. For broadcast news alone, we had 2 segments with KUSI, one morning and one afternoon segment. We then had Fox 5 come out to the March 30th screening that they then ran at the 4 o'clock showing. For print publication, we earned mention in the San Diego Union Tribune. John Maffey included us in his coverage of high school sports. In our section, we were under the headline, Save a Life.
Hello, everyone. My name is Treya Patterson, and I'm going to be talking about our community calendar outreach. To help promote our March 30th screening event, we took the initiative to submit to 11 different community calendars. We began by researching each of the websites, as well as the specific steps required to submit an event. Next, we wrote a short description tailored for public posting that we submitted along with a graphic from one of our previous outreach efforts. As a result of our efforts, we were able to get our event onto 9 of the 11 community calendars.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lupita Zamora. To help promote the screening, we reached out to nursing, kinesiology, JMS, biology, and chemistry professors to offer extra credit to their students for getting screened. A total of 11 professors offered extra credit. We had a total of 60 youth come for extra credit, meaning 13% of youth screened came from extra credit outreach.
As part of our promotion process, we created a digital insider that was sent out to registered attendees. This insider gave valuable information on what to expect at the March 30th screening, along with educational information about sudden cardiac arrest. With that, we made multiple graphics that were sent out to non-registered groups in the San Diego area. These communities consisted of parent and student Facebook groups, next-door communities within the Lakeside area, along with one GroupMe community. These graphics promoted the March 30th screening while providing a direct link to the Foundation's registration page.
Our interviewees highlight that would get them to come out the most was free incentives. So for this tactic, we focused on community collaboration through in-kind donations. We reached out to multiple organizations in the San Diego area and collected 11 in-kind donations. 5 from Chick-fil-A, 5 from Sophie Joe's, and 1 from a hair salon that we raffled off every hour at the March 30th screening.
Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer Sancion, and I'll be covering our community promotions. Staying true to our target audience, our team created flyers with the purpose of reaching individuals close to those who qualify for heart screenings, expanding awareness beyond just students at El Capitan High School. Our flyers were designed to reflect our previously established campaign branding, remaining consistent with previous materials. Flyer locations were determined based off locations' proximity to El Capitan and their clientele demographics. Event day wayfinders were designed to inform and guide attendees during the March 30th heart screening. Graphics focus on educating attendees on knowing the signs of sudden cardiac arrest with hopes of increasing our survey completion rate.
Before we dive into the final evaluations of our objectives, here are some metrics that helped us move the needle. Hi, I'm Annalise Alceda, and these are our social media results. Implementing our very own content calendar that we created provided structural value to the EP Save a Life's Instagram by providing both structure and consistency to the page. Looking at our views results, Pre-management being their team. So from January 14th to about mid-March, in 2.5 months, their team was able to obtain 28,000 views, reaching 7,000 accounts. Now, post-management being us, we were able to, from mid-March to April 15th, in just 3 weeks, obtain 29,000 views, reaching 13,000 accounts. So in essence, not yet. In essence, we were able to increase an average viewership by 337.5% in just 3 weeks. Thank you. Thank you. As for interactions, again under pre-management, they were able to obtain 1,100 interactions. Us along the same lines, but by a non-follower percentage, we were able to reach a 20% non-follower account. So our content was really able to reach a broader audience aside from initial followers to the EP Save a Lives Instagram page. And as for age, that stayed consistent.
As my team previously mentioned, we outlined a set of objectives aimed to screen San Diego youth in order to prevent sudden cardiac arrest. Hello, everyone. My name is Chloe Bonilla, and I was the HR manager of this campaign. But before we look back at our objectives, I wanted to take a moment to highlight that the Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation was able to screen 447 youth at the March 30th screening and found 0 heart abnormalities. This means we screened 447 healthy youth hearts. Now let's take a look back at our objectives to see how our work was able to impact them. For our first objective, we wanted to reduce the no-show rate by 10%. Now, we understand life happens whether you have to take your child to a sports game or you simply forgot you made that appointment. With our text message reminders and the digital insider that we sent along with it, we provided an idea of what to expect at a typical screening and common myths about sudden cardiac arrest. We are very proud to say that we reduced the no-show rate from 36% to 30%, which is a 16% change. Yes. For our second objective, we wanted to increase the amount of community supporters by 50%. Now, the Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation already has 18 community supporters, and with the screening being held in Lakeside, San Diego, our team went out and canvassed the area to reach out to local businesses. Of the 27 local businesses that we reached out to, 20 of them said that they would post our flyer, and of those 20, 3 of them offered us in-kind donations. So that brings our total to 38 community supporters, which is a 111% increase. Yes. And for our third objective, we wanted to increase the completion rate of our exit poll survey now by 5%. Now, as you're leaving, we understand you're trying to get out in a rush, but this survey includes things about your knowledge about sudden cardiac arrest and your knowledge about sudden cardiac arrest and what to expect or how your experience was at the screening. Now, with our efforts, we were able to increase the completion rate of the survey from 54% to 59%, which is a 9% increase. And for our last objective, we wanted to increase the screening rate of the 18 to 25-year-old demographics by 10%. Now, with San Diego having around 11 colleges in the area, we knew that we could really reach out to this demographic. We increased the baseline attendees from 55 to 111 attendees, which is a 101% increase. I think it's safe to say that we exceeded our objectives, so now let's shift our focus to the budget. We were able to accomplish a great deal while keeping costs extremely low. What we didn't invest in dollars, we did invest in time, and we spent over 2,000 hours researching, planning, implementing, and evaluating our campaign. All of our printing with our Wayfinder signage and our flyers was done in-house through the School of Journalism and Media Studies and through our clients. And if this were to be billed at a regular agency, it would be around $200,000. Now, this was all a team effort, and we were really happy to and honored to be able to work with the Eric Paredes Save a Life Foundation.
I'm Joel Navarez, and to help EP Save a Life keep growing after the campaign, we decided to focus on 3 main recommendations. First, we connected them with the JMS internship coordinator. This sets them up to bring in student interns each semester to help with things like outreach, social media, and event planning. Second, we developed a relationship with SDSU Athletics to ensure a representative from EP Save a Life is featured at a future Aztec Gamer event. Third, we handed off a full social media calendar. It includes things like captions, visuals, and post ideas they can use moving forward. Altogether, these make the campaign more sustainable and sets them up for long-term success.
As you can see, we are all extremely proud of the results that we were able to obtain given our budget and time constraints. When we started this semester, we were hoping to grow as PR professionals, but what we didn't expect was just how rewarding it would be to educate our own San Diego community about sudden cardiac arrest. So we would like to end our presentation today and end our semester-long capstone project by leaving you with some of that same education. If you look on the screen, you'll see some of the warning signs of sudden cardiac arrest. Some of the most common being fainting, especially before or after physical activity, chest pain, or excessive fatigue. If you or someone you know is experiencing these symptoms, please take a moment to get your heart screened. One EKG can literally save a life. And similarly, if you or someone you know is between the ages of 12 to 25, we invite you to take out your phone and scan the QR code on the screen. It'll take you to the EP Save a Life website where you can register for their next event and get your heart screened completely free of charge. And we would like to end today by reminding you, you wouldn't get in a car without putting on a seatbelt. You wouldn't ride a bike without putting on your helmet. And you shouldn't ignore the warning signs of sudden cardiac arrest without getting your heart screened. Thank you for your time. Thank you so much. You've already met my wonderful team here during our presentation today, but on the screen we have our pictures as well as a QR code, and that will lead you to a website with all of our LinkedIns on it. So we would love to connect with you. We're all graduating seniors. We've gained real-world experience during this campaign, and we're ready to start our careers in the PR field. But for now, we would be happy to take any questions you may have about our campaign.